Alright folks, welcome to this exciting video where you once again join us in the wild landscape of Scotland. And for today's adventure, we're joined once again by a special guest, the channel DJ folks. He's returning for this one, and today we've come to a special location in the wildlands of Glenisla. We have been near here in a previous video recording the old World War II and Great War Memorial up here. But today we've come to actually record a piece of Cold War history, folks, never seen before on the channel. Because apparently up on this hill here, there's actually an old ROC bunker of Glenisla, folks, that we had no idea was even here until last night. I got some key intel here on this location. So we're basically just about to head up this track, which is the Catherine Trail, a famous walking trail here over the lands of Glenisla. And eventually you can actually walk to the Spittal of Glen if you carry on up that way. This is the old war memorial at the top of this hill, and we are just basically going to head up through this farm. Look at this, folks, hidden in the wild lands of Glenisla here, in the wind and the rain today on this adventure. This is the old Cold War ROC, Royal Observer Corps Nuclear Observation Bunker. And we've documented so many of them on this channel. It's so cool to come and find this one. Whoa, I'm just a bit tripped. Check it out, it's the hatch open. Yeah, it's maybe locked, folks. This is the thing with these adventures. Yeah, so it's interesting, folks, this one is locked, like we've seen with some of the other ones that we've visited on the channel. And that is actually a good thing often. When these bunkers are locked, it actually seals the history within them and protects it. Check it out, this one's got the old wooden vents. It's so super windy at this location, folks, but we'll always try and bring you the coolest of content in the most wild of environments. And here's another ROC bunker never seen before on the channel. Look at this here, the old brass fittings with the wood clinging on to their existence here on the hill. And the one we saw last, well, the most recent one was the Aelith ROC bunker, and it actually had the metal vents, and it makes me think this one was maybe closed down in 1968. But most likely the local farmers probably got the key. And it is good when the history is preserved like that for generations. It's sealed and it's not getting vandalised and damaged. But it is cool to come here and see where it lies on the land, and to think over the years I've been so close to this bunker looking for history and had no idea it was here, and the character of it. Yeah, at one time the earth must have been higher up.
Farmers obviously just been dumping all the stones here, eh?
Yeah. This is interesting though, folks. They used to monitor the radiation, the power of the bomb, but also the location, the height of the bomb. And then they would be able to figure out with the weather or whatever, the area where the radiation and nuclear fallout would occur. Yeah, this is where they actually had a wee metal plate they used to put on there, a wee round plate, and the pressure would go down and operate the gauge. And then this one here, there was a radiation detector came up from down below inside the bunker, and we're obviously able to check the radiation levels. Wow, that wind is just gusting so strong. And then this is where the third operational measuring device was mounted. Check it out, folks. See, the interesting thing with this, folks, you notice the holes are no set equal, and that was so the device of measure, when it bolted on, it was always set properly for true north and for a true reading. And I believe, Ken, that's a cool little detail that almost goes unseen with that. I'm pretty sure that was called a fixed survey meter. And this is a pipe here where there's like a handle with like a sump, with a hand pump, and they were able to pump the water out of these bunkers. And at the end of this video I'll actually put a link to a couple of these bunkers that we've managed to get inside and document over the years. You can kind of see the rise in the land here, and this is an area, when they built it, they would have dug this area out and they would have constructed the bunker down in there, pouring the cement against the wooden shuttering. And then after it had hardened and stuff, obviously they took the wooden shuttering away and covered it over with the earth. And there was 1,500 of these bunkers over the UK. Some were closed in 1968, others opened until 1991, at the end of the Cold War. But it's cool to have these wee short videos documenting another crazy bit of Scottish history here in the wild lands of Glenisla. And it looks like this rain might actually be a way to get a bit heavier. It's a total madness, folks. We should have had the umbrella up here today. Yeah, it would probably blow away.
How come we never noticed this?
Yeah, how have we never noticed this, folks? Yeah, at the far side of the glen here, folks, there's an obelisk, and we have been to that in previous videos as well. It's actually a memorial to a gentleman from Glenisla back in the day, 1800s I think it is, which is cool. And this would have been visible from the obelisk, so it's just crazy that we had never noticed it before. But it's so interesting nonetheless. So there you go, folks, the Glenisla ROC bunker. It's been a short video, but this weather's just super rainy, so we're keeping it short. It's a shame we can't get in, but respect to the landowner and that for keeping it there, keeping it sealed, looking after the history for the generations in the future. And it is cool on this channel to document the location of it and see how they've been mapping out, well, defending this piece of land in Glenisla. So we've now come down off that wild hill a little bit from the ROC bunker, and now we're away to walk a secondary route back past the old World War II war memorial here, which is cool to see. It's cool to see the history from the Cold War up here with the bunker, and then this World War II history, and I believe potentially the Great War as well. I have been here one time before on the videos, but it is cool to remember the soldiers and men that left these glens to go to war and they never come home. So I do apologise for the wind, folks, in this adventure. That's what it's like when you're out in the real craziest of lands. And then we're always recording, like, even in storms and stuff like that. So it's crazy just to come and see this. Look at that. I'm blown away by the construction of it as well. It's so big. I forgot how big the granite blocks was that they've used. I think it's granite, but I could be wrong. Yeah, check this out. Let's take a look at these names here on this. Document them, folks, for the world to see. Potentially people, like relatives of these families, could live all over the world nowadays. Just check it out. The Great War, look. Yeah, so that is interesting. It's just the Great War. I was remembering it was World War II as well. But that is interesting. We've once again managed to hear some more wartime history along with, like, that bunker. It would have been such a short video, folks, just looking at the bunker. It's fun just to document this. Get in the comments if you've got any of your own history in Glenisla and stuff. I've had people before in the comments from America saying that their family roots are from this glen, and that is cool to see and cool to document stuff like this. Just look at it with the cross on the top. I don't know how many times in the video I say, oh, it's cool to document the thing, like, but often you're lost for words with the scenes in a place like this, folks. And this is quite a prominent piece of land that the memorial's been built. Here we are. We're parked basically down at the roadside here, folks. This Catherine Trail is the walking trail, which is a proper path, 13 kilometres to Glen, but you could also head other directions, like over the other side of Glenisla. And I'm not sure, I couldn't go all the way to Blairgowrie, which is an interesting. Maybe one day in a few years we'll have to get a couple of tents and go for a mad adventure over the path, the Catherine Trail. Yeah, it's interesting how there's only a couple of steps, maybe on the steepest bits. Oh, aye, the stone wiggles about, eh? Wow. That's off-putting when you're going down a hill, folks. The stone starts wiggling about under your feet. Yeah, these trees may have been planted at the time the Great War Memorial was put in, just to kind of break the wind a little bit when the people are around. And I just love the character of it up there on the hill, remembering the fallen, those that never came home to Glenisla after the war. It's sad often when you see that there's a few names potentially from the same family Often brothers were all lost in a war, different battalions and regiments. Sometimes they didn't even know the fate of their own family until they got back home or whatever. Just different times back then, folks. And just check it out, this little house at the far side of the road is actually for sale, according to the sign. Wood End it's called. What a crazy little place that would be to live. Look, here's the sign for the Catherine Trail. So check it out, folks, there's some serious road works getting done here in Glenisla just now, and when we came up the road, like, it was super smooth, which is so good to see, because often these glens, they're full of potholes, but credit to Glenisla, it's just one of the best road surfaces we've been on. It's all brand new, and it looks like this bit here will be brand new soon as well. Anyway, folks, that's us just about back at the car. It was so cool to see another Cold War ROC bunker and document it here on the channel once again. We had no idea it was so near. The amount of adventures we've had in this area, it was just crazy to see it today. Document it, even though it was so windy out there. You know, we try our best on this adventures, folks. Anyway, I'm going to end this one here. Thanks very much for watching. Goodbye for me, goodbye for the channel DJ, and we'll catch you very soon for the next one, wherever we end up going.